Welcome, Chris Clout, outstanding designer, 36 years old, who started his company 12 years ago, in 2008 if I'm correct. And over 12 years he has established himself as a really brand when it comes to outstanding design. So anybody in real estate, construction, developments, they really know who you are. You design homes all over Australia and you have won over 100 awards. Quite often I describe you to my friends as Elon Musk of design. But you're crazy passionate. I came to visit you a couple of weeks ago with a good friend of mine, Rob, and we were sitting for 1 hour and you were just gone talking about your design, and you were so passionate. It's like it's your first house ever. So how did you build a brand over 12 years?
Look,
How you started?
I guess what was nice was when I was young, I didn't really know what I was going to do. I just grew up in a family of builders and designers, and you know, like the story I've said a few times, I started with chopping up all my dad's wood, building cubby houses, and I think I would have built 100 cubby houses back in the day, and they're all different in different locations and uniqueness. But way back then I was 6 and 7, 8, 10. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just didn't want to go to school. I wanted to go home and build cubby houses. And then I had to go to school, obviously. Did my building apprenticeship with my dad. Still didn't really know what I was going to do. I knew he was a builder, and I knew that he stressed out a lot and didn't, you know, enjoy it as much as probably you should. So I kind of didn't want to go down that road, and then we decided to move to Noosa from the south coast of New South Wales, and from down there it was all old brick homes and just different sort of buildings, and Noosa was a really hot spot with cool new modern houses, and it inspired me. And then I had my uncle Paul that did work up here, and that inspired me, and we come up here to buy some land. And I actually said to Dad one day on a holiday, I said, "You've got to buy a block in Noosa Waters," and forced him into buying it, and we did a design on that. And my uncle Paul wanted me to work for him, so we went and did work for him because he saw a few of my designs I did. And it was a bit Fred Flintstone style, very cartoony, but it was just being creative, I guess. And but you know, I had to create a brand for myself too, because I was starting off with everyone in a boom time. I never knew what a slope, a GFC was or anything. I always thought it was good. So even when I was here on the nail bag building stuff, I'd get 100 inquiries and I'd go, "Oh yeah, I'll ring it back another day," and realise that when the work stopped drying, you know, when it stopped coming through, you probably should ring it back.
Yes, of course.
So you're learning all the time, but we basically went work from Uncle Paul, and that was great because it was, I think I designed about 100 homes for him. Basically almost no budgets back then. It was just before the GFC.
Just so you know, when you're designing my home, I have a budget. Yeah. So be good to me.
Yeah. Well, there's budgets these days, I guess, because things have changed again. But you know, everything's always evolving. But it was a good experience because I had to design properties on real sites.
So after you finished obviously working for Uncle Paul, what inspired you to say, you know what, I'm going to start my own business now? I
think I've always wanted to have my own business. I've always had a dream of something like that, so I don't think that was ever a doubt. It was more having to do your experience and training. So 4 years apprenticeship, 5 years working in an office. It's 9 years of, plus all the young years in the job site with Dad building and learning from him. You know, it's been a massive thing to where I've got basically my parents and my family. And having it all around me since day dot in the blood, I guess. But yeah, when I wanted to go out on my own, I had to create my own style, and had to have something that was different. I couldn't go out and design a house that looked like my uncle's, and a lot of my work was his work at that time. I couldn't go and do a beach house. I couldn't do any, you know, I couldn't copy other people. So and it was part of my sister and part of my family that wanted to create something, and we talked about the Japan house, and it was we did it and we created it and we made it very unique, and it was different to everything else that was around, and it was perfect because it went right through and took out the national design excellence, which
so that's really where things took off.
Yeah, and that was the first year and went to the top. So it was kind of like, what next?
Every time you look at a project or block of land, what inspires you to be creative?
I think my own passion of what I'd like to do for myself as well. You know, I'd see properties on the Sunshine Coast and in this area where half the blocks of land I've designed something up on it, which not many people would probably put that effort in.
And also I think a lot of your designs, the result is looking spectacular, but it's also very challenging to build. You know, I looked at some of your designs and I was telling my brother, who's a builder, I said, you know, we're gonna get Chris Clout to start designing a lot of our work. And then we looked at your work and we were like, how do we build this? Which is a good challenge to have, because there's so much creativity when it comes to design and stuff that you don't see every day. So saying that, how challenging is it for you to work with builders, for them to actually see your vision all the way through?
Yeah, look, I guess that's where the carpentry and building comes in handy, because I know what's involved. They're not easy, most of them, they are complex. We put pools on the roofs and turn everything inside out, so it's not normal. So a builder would look at it and go, how's this work? And I think because we've got so much being built all throughout Australia and all different areas and all different type of designs, and we go through all those details with engineers and windows and pools and all those sorts of things, we kind of, it starts to become just like normal to me, and you just sort of know exactly what it needs to be and how big it needs to be and what size things need to be for certain costs. So it just becomes, you know, a breeze, I guess, in that sense.
And I think it helps a lot that you actually have a good understanding of construction as well.
Yeah.
And
I think the biggest thing is when you do your own project, you quote it, you engineer it, you spend all that extra time to do it, and you want it to be the best, but you want it to be the best price, and you want all the things that a client would want. And when you go through that personal process yourself, you spend a lot of time with your staff and wages and a lot of time for yourself. Like, the amount of hours I've spent creating my own stuff is ridiculous, but that's your passion and your love. But it all pays off when I go to do the client's job, because all that time and experience and energy you put into your own stuff then makes it easier for your client. You can pass that on to your client.
What advice would you give somebody who is, let's say, 20 years old and he wants to build his first home? So the first step that most people will do is go and see a designer who's going to design it. What should they be looking for, and what advice would you give them?
To do their own.
By the way, budget will be a little bit less when you're building a first home.
I think you need to have something that's unique. You know, designing something that's not like everything else, you need to stand out. So having something that's a little bit special and unique's the first thing you want to try and achieve. If it's like everything else, it blends in. Yes. And it can start with you know, I've done a house here at Sunshine Beach for 440,000 complete. It doesn't have a pool, it's got a carport, but it's still a cool, trendy little beach shack that's
that stands out.
And stands out, you know.
Oh, good advice. You keep designing all over Australia, but your base is always Sunshine Coast, Sunshine Beach. You know, your office is here, your family is here, your relatives are here as well. What's so special about Sunshine Coast? What's so special about Sunshine Beach?
Well, it's good climate. You know, I mean, it's raining today, but it's still nice. You know, when you surf and you want to live by the beach, like we go out to Noosa Heads and we went down to PC's on Monday, which is Paradise Cove, the kids, and not a soul around, surf, you're in boardies, middle of winter. We've got the office there at Sunshine Beach, so you can head back there nearly in your boardies and do a few chats with the staff. So climate's perfect, location's good. You know, every client doesn't complain about coming and seeing me, so we get a lot of...
I get excited every time I come here. If you run away from Brisbane.
I think every inquiry that we get, we tell them to come and see us, and they jump on the plane from Sydney and Melbourne and fly up to see us, and pretty much without even asking them, they'll do it. And I say, you know, you can stay in Hastings Street or come and have a nice lunch for the weekend or whatever. So yeah, it works really well, and you know, a lot of stuff we do now is all on the computers with computerised stuff, so we don't need to be on site to do it now.
Technology has changed. Very good business
and
today.
you know, I do everything on my iPad with my iPad pen, and you know, I can be working anywhere I need to be, which is great, because I used to have to print everything out, mark it all up for the staff, and then make sure they've got it in the morning. And so it wasn't that long ago I was doing that, and you know how easy it is now. I could be on a boat or in a different country and keep the business running, because everything's run through me. But Sunshine Beach is great, yeah, it's a good location.
So you're being 36 now, next 15 years?
I want to keep creating the houses I'm doing. We get a lot of international inquiry, but I haven't really pushed it. I think that'd be the next thing, to sort of really branch out a bit more internationally. I just think it'd be nice to leave the earth with a lot of my creations around it, and I think that'd be a special thing to me.
Create a special legacy.
Yeah, have special buildings, special places for people to enjoy and live, and hopefully the buildings, they will last forever. You know, not just something that you throw up and it gets ripped down by the next generation, and they do it. That's how I think of a building. You know, it should be there forever.
So there's a good chance we're going to see some Chris Clout design in the Beverly Hills, in a $300 million house, what keeps popping up in Beverly Hills all the time.
Yeah, well, like I said, we get a lot of international inquiry, and it's right there. It's just sort of making it happen, I guess. So yes. I just need to make it happen. I think the next thing will be, you know, creating my own sort of bit more of my own portfolio brand in that sense. So yes. we have a lot of clients every day ring me and say, oh, we want one of your houses anywhere in Australia, and it'd be great to have them there ready for them to go, because as you know, there's a lot of time. There's more time in designing a building, getting it approved these days, to building it, which used to be the other way around. So if you can do all that hard work for your client, and if it's a true me design, then it's good too, because you can create it yourself, and they just buy it off the plan basically. So that's the next phase that I'd like to look at doing.
I'll definitely look forward to it.
With, you know, friends and partners, I guess. So yeah.
Big question I keep asking everybody: you are married?
Yep.
3 kids?
3 boys, yep.
3 boys?
Yep.
What is the oldest age?
7, 5 and nearly 4.
So you got a lovely wife, 3 boys, business, staff in it, clients. How do you balance it all? By the way, your wife, there's a good chance she's going to be watching this. So because I know it's very hard to balance family life.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty lucky. I've sorted out a system that works through the week. I have meeting day, I have a sketch day, I have a Monday and a Friday. I normally try and have a golf afternoon on a Friday afternoon. So, but I might, you know, yesterday I worked 18 hours. I woke up at 6 and worked till midnight. But I tend to do my, you know, I'm either on or off sort of thing. I'll enjoy my surfing and my family and my golf. When I'm working, and most people don't see that, but you know.
So you can balance it. So
yeah,
it is possible to have normal family life and still be ambitious and chase whatever your career is.
Yeah, I think, you know, I'll try and work Tuesday till Thursday and do those 16-hour days, but a lot of it is emails and markups and sketching. But if I group it and work it out properly, which I've done now, I've got a system that works, and yeah, it works really well. And having a good, you know, we've got 10 good staff in the office, and a lot of them have been there for 10 years now, and they know me and what I want and how it works. And so, you know, every design, every client's challenging because they're very high end, very unique, and we're pushing everything. So, you know, if it's too easy, we haven't pushed it enough. So generally everything's hard because you're pushing people to do something that's not easy.
How important is the teamwork? Having a team of 10 people that work closely to each other.
Yeah, we do all the 3D renders, all the interior design, everything in-house. Everything sort of has to go through me in the sense that, you know, it is my creation, so we sort of have to get the answers through. But it's good to have a good team. We had a few years ago it was you know, sort of a few of them wanted to leave and couldn't get the right staff, and that was a good learning thing as well, because you appreciate them. But yeah, no, it's good to have a good team, and we're quite productive in the sense of our turnover is really good at the moment, but you know, with all the work we've got at the moment, I'd say 2/3 of it's in council. So you do the concept part quite, you know, it's important. You can turn that over quite quickly in-house.
But then you have to.
But then you've got to get through through council processes, and a lot of stuff interstate with neighbours and Victoria, New South Wales. It's not easy. Got a few down there that have been a few years in council, but you have to fight for what you want because the value's in it. So that, you know, it works well having a lot of work and that, because they're all at different stages. and make it all
And
work.
right now you're about to start building your family home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully it's going to be a good challenge.
Yeah, well, I've had the site for a while, and we had it approved 4 years ago to build, and found another block and designed something for that.
Yes.
And then we had someone that wanted to buy it, and then as you know, I kind of don't like selling things, so I held on to it, and it's kind of paid off because I've gone back to the original design that we did, and it's going to be pretty cool. It's kind of nothing really like it, and I think it'll be good to have one of my own proper houses that I've built for myself, I guess. So.
Is there a style of home that you love more than others, or you just like creating good projects? Is there a style that you like? Some people, as you know, over the last couple of years, Hampton style home or coastal style home are starting to be a little bit popular.
Yeah.
But is there a style that you really like?
My style would be probably a lot to do with the theme of the home. Like at the moment, I'm working on a house on the beach that I'm going to call the concrete barrel. So I want to build it out of concrete that's shaped like a big barrel, and just something that's really, unique. And I think that's things that are, basically like a piece of art that is nothing like it in the world. That's what's special to me. It doesn't need to be a certain style. It's just having its character and its theme, and the bubble house or the barrel house, or something that's really cool, and which we haven't done a lot of because it's sort of you're doing it for a client. But I think that'll be the stuff that I'll probably want to do more in the future, is stuff that's very unique.
Well, I definitely look forward to you designing my home, and hopefully I'm not going to have any more grey hair by the time I finish it. But I definitely look forward to working with you as well.
It sounds exciting. I'm sure it'll be a fun journey together.
100%. Chris Clout, thank you.
No worries. Thank you. Cheers.
Awesome.
With our feet on the ground, talk without heading